Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Great Maine Bird Quest. Feels really good to say that. I know it's been a little while since my last video. So back in the fall, I got pretty busy with some other projects and just wasn't able to get out and bird. So I just kind of got out of the habit of making these videos, and here we are in February, and I'm finally getting time to get out and start birding again. So I'm really excited to be back out in the woods searching for birds, even though unfortunately it is pretty quiet. And I missed pretty much all of fall migration too, so I wasn't able to get a lot of those other cool species moving through. So with that in mind, I decided to make some changes to the bird quest. Instead of doing it for 1 year, which would have ended in about a month, I decided just to extend it for however long it takes me to get all 300. I figure that way I can keep some of the cool birds that I've seen. Like there was a western tanager that popped up in my backyard, which I don't think I will ever get again, most likely. So things like that I would like to be able to keep on the list instead of just kind of scrapping all those and having to start over every year. So the Great Maine Bird Quest is now an open-ended quest just to get 300. So I think that'll also allow me just to spend more time focusing on getting better pictures rather than just rushing around trying to get as many as I can. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that change, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this year has in store. So I also have no idea where exactly I was. I think I was somewhere around 160 birds. So let's do a little montage of all the birds that I've seen since the last video. So cue montage. I've also spent some time giving my local backyard birds a little bit of attention because they're pretty cool, so why not spend some time with them? So this year I haven't really seen too many new species yet. I've done a bunch of birding around the coast. I tried doing some walks through the forest, but like I said, the forest is really quiet. Pretty much all that's here are the chickadees, the kinglets, nuthatches, and some of those really hardy winter birds. So that's pretty much all I've gotten pictures of in recent memory. The coast, however, has been a little bit productive. There's been a whole ton of loons I've been seeing in the ocean, which is always really cool. They're in their winter plumage right now, so they're not quite as boldly patterned as they are in the summer. But it's still really cool to see them just floating offshore, diving down for crabs and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I got some kind of cool clips of the loons swimming around, so check out some of these coastal birds. I have done a couple of little birding trips as well. The first one was I went down and looked for the Steller sea eagle that's been hanging out in Maine. I spent 2 days down there looking, but unfortunately I didn't see it on either day. The first day it was hanging around and people were seeing it, just not in the areas I was in. And of course the one time I decided to go to a spot where it came back to the spot where I'd been waiting all morning, so that was kind of a bummer. But the second day, nobody really saw it at all, so that was also a bummer. I did get to see a whole bunch of bald eagles because it's pretty amazing how many bald eagles pop up when you're looking for a Steller sea eagle. I'm really hoping that the sea eagles kind of moved closer to me and just nobody's found it yet. But yeah, nobody's seen it for a couple weeks now, so everybody's kind of afraid it's moved on to another state or country or something like that. So we'll see if it pops back up. I've also gone and looked for snowy owls, which is always one of my favorite birding experiences of the winter. I was lucky enough to find a couple of them with some really awesome evening light. So let's check out some of the not sea eagle sightings and the snowy owl stuff. When snowy owls travel south into the northern United States in the winter, they generally look for areas that mimic the wide open spaces of their tundra homes. They can generally be found in salt marshes, coastal dunes, farmland, and even the fields around airports. This habit of perching in open areas makes them one of the easiest owls to locate. Although they're usually found perching on the ground, the snowy owls in my area have been known to perch on a tree every once in a while. Only adult male snowy owls are pure white. Unfortunately, none of them seem to hang out in this area, so I've only seen juvenile males and female owls, which are the ones with more of the dark barring on them. Juvenile females, like this owl here, are the easiest to tell apart thanks to the very dark barring across their entire body. The real difficulty comes with telling apart first-year males and adult females. If you can get a clear view of the whole tail, like in this freeze frame, you can make a guess as to whether or not the bird is a female or a male. Females will generally have 3 or more bars, and the bottom or terminal band will reach all the way across the tail to the very edges of the feathers. Males, on the other hand, will have 3 or fewer bars, and the terminal band does not reach to the edge of the tail. Unfortunately, though, this method is not 100% accurate. Seeing any of these birds is a real treat, and if you happen to be going to see one, please be an ethical birder and keep your distance, and don't disturb the owl. When I was going to see the snowy owls, I was lucky enough to look up and notice this barred owl perching in a tree over my head. So, of course, I took a picture. And here are a couple of shots that I took while looking for the Steller sea eagle. It's really quite amazing how many bald eagles are on the coast of Maine, especially given how low their populations were just a few decades ago. It's also amazing how many treetops look a lot like eagles until you zoom in and take a picture. Man, I wish this was the Great Maine Deer Quest. There are deer tracks all over this trail. It's ridiculous. Plenty of deer, but no birds. Hopefully, the woods aren't going to be quiet for that much longer. Some of the early breeding birds, like the woodpeckers and some of the owls, and I think even bald eagles are starting their courtship displays and stuff now, so hopefully before long, we're going to be hearing bird calls echoing through the woods again, and then spring migration. So I'm really looking forward to all the birds coming back and seeing what I can find this year. Oh, the snow is the worst for walking on. There's a icy crust on it that just randomly decides to collapse. So I think that is going to be it for this video. Like I've said, it feels really good to be back out here in the woods looking for birds again, so I'm really excited to see what I can find coming up. So thank you all for watching and sticking with me for this long, and I will see you in the next video.